Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rocks Online Live. We are still testing our features of rolling out the new live classes that we'll be offering at Rocks Online in a few weeks for our 1-year anniversary. So today we are going to be working on a slow flow, and I'm going to come back and share that with you right after David rolls our Rocks Online credits. Yay! Hey guys, welcome back again. We're live from Rocks Online, and today I wanted to invite you guys in for a little class, a slow flow. So this is a new category that we've added to Rocks Online, and it's kind of a follow along. So even my teaching style changes a little bit on the slow flow, and what I do is I pick a topic, I pick the music, and then I flow. So I try not to have too much of a structured teaching outline with the slow flow because it's all about really exploring the movement pathway a little more organically and allowing you guys to also add your own personal style and flavor onto the moves as well. So most of the classes I teach are very technical, very broken down, and they have a pretty intense structure of how I follow that technique. But on the slow flows, I literally almost just improv and freestyle. So today's move that I picked is a swaying figure 8 or a Maya. We might get to that one too, and we're going to put it onto the whole body. So this is a really beautiful movement where you kind of get this, it's technically like a lateral side undulation that incorporates the whole body, and you can do these really beautiful level changes and get these really dramatic shapes. So one of my favorite ways to use this move is when you're silhouetted. So you can even use this as a guide to doing a photo shoot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you guys on how we use these shapes. You can use it for photo shoot, you can use it in silhouette, mood lighting, really ambient stage mood lighting. They're just amazing to watch. So the other reason I picked this move today is because it's a full body workout. You're going to get a great stretch all over. And on that note, I also want you guys to be a little bit mindful of your bodies and don't overdo it. You can really kind of pull some muscles if you're not careful, because we're really going to be contorting and tweaking our shape. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to feature 2 songs today. One is off my CD, Totally Hot Oriental, compiled by Hollywood Music Center and bellydance.com, and another one is a track by David here at Rocks Online and one of our friends, Rashid Holly Hall from Morocco. They did a little collaboration, so we'll start warming up to that track. So we're going to get a little music, warm up our bodies a little bit, and then I invite you to join me for this slow flow tutorial on full-bodied figure 8s. So just take a nice big inhale. Exhale. From here, let's just roll the shoulders back and forward. And from here, let's take a nice vertical circle of the rib cage that goes counterclockwise. Nice and big. Really stretch that upper body and then switch it the other way. Vertical rib cage circle to go to the right or clockwise. And let's just take a nice big external hip circle, one direction, switch it to the other direction. And then let's take some inner circles on the pelvis, some nice little interior pelvic rotations, one direction, and then the other. Take the arms up, and we're going to do a little side stretch, so you can kind of bend the knees and straight, and then add the upper body to get a nice full side body stretch. And then take it around, belly button to spine, round out the back. You can even tuck your chin to your chest. Softly bend the knees. Open it up. Change that stretch to stretch the front body, the abdominals. Reach back with the arms. One more time. Pull it in, stretch out the back. Inhale, bring it up. Very short stretch. Take a nice full circle around. My hips and my hands are rotating around on the same track. So I get a nice full torso stretch. Take it the other way. So one thing I want to start with is the upper body, because we're going to be layering the upper body onto the hips of our figure 8. There's many ways of doing this, not just one. So that's why in the slow flow, I kind of leave it up to you guys. So I want to start with these nice big circles. Allow your shoulders to respond, so your shoulders can even become a little bit a part of that movement. So I'm even sort of rotating or rolling my shoulders. However, for me on the circle, I have found a little interesting thing that happens on the shoulders. One goes back and one goes forward. So they're not kind of rolling back like this to create that actual circle. One goes back, the other goes forward as I contract into those abdominals. As I open up into back extension, I roll the shoulder back. As I pull back into contraction, that left shoulder goes forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. See if you can switch the direction of the circle and that shoulder roll. Open, forward, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. If you can't get that groove today, no worries. This is all about your own groove today. Let's take a swaying figure 8. So I have this vertical figure 8 of the hips. Just warm up your hips. Sway, 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 sway. I want you to really make sure you're using your core muscles. Belly button tucked. You should be able to curl your toes off the floor. So I don't want you rolling through the feet just yet. I want you warming up your core muscles, preparing your spine, preparing the hips. Maybe you want to do a little slide side to side to kind of stretch those hip flexors, your IT band. Push, 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 push. You can already see the shape, right? So what happens if I push my hips and at the same time I lean my upper body away from where I am taking the hips? You can already feel what a nice stretch that is on the body. Slowly lift up and out and take it the other way. Push the hip to the left, lean your upper body away from the hip. Just take a moment to feel that stretch and back up. Now, instead of doing that kind of just two-dimensionally, try to see if you can add the whole body, soft edges, no sharp edges, soft, rounded finishing touch to that push. You can even add arms. Push, push, push. What if you add a little level change? If I dip down, wow, look at that extreme shape, right? In fact, I'm using that plie and that lean to really create a bigger illusion on my hip and my movement. Push, 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 push. So at this point, this should just feel really good. If this doesn't feel good, then make the movement a little smaller. Go to your comfort level here. Push, push, push. So I haven't added too much of that figure 8 in there yet. I was just still kind of warming up. Now what I want to do is add that sway back in, as well as a little bit of a roll through the foot for a stylistic choice. The roll through the foot is not how I am executing the technique. The technique comes through the core, so as you can see, my feet are planted and flat. Rolling through the foot just becomes a style choice, right? So I'm still working from the core. And now I'm going to start to play with these shapes of up and down. So plie, straight, plie, straight. If I'm here making my figure 8 in place, the only thing I just did differently is to do a plie and then I come back up. So I am using an actual technical squat position that you would do in a gym when you're working out. Pushing the hips back, so as I look down, I can still see my toes. Don't ever bring your knees over your toes. That's a more compromising position. You can do it sometimes, but in this exercise, I want to keep you really safe. You're going to get a nice booty workout, but you're not going to compromise your knees too much. And then I'm going to start to add that lean as well. Lean, push back, lean, push back, lean, push back. So we have figure eights. And I want you to start to play around with that level change, lean. A couple in place, level change, lean, lean. Bring it back up. And now let's hold it up for a little bit. As I figure eight, let's add some rib cage. I want you to feel it a little bit on your own before I give you any pointers on what you could do here, because most likely you're going to find your own groove, right? So you have your figure eight, sway, down to up vertical. Now what if I want to add a little rib cage on there? Rib cage. This actually gets you breathing. This is quite a workout. It looks soft and graceful, but there's a lot going on here. And I'm already feeling inspired to kind of move and do my level changes with it. I'm going to share with you what I'm doing with my upper body. I'm creating that circle that we warmed up with. So I'm actually adding a layer of a rib cage circle on top of the sway, 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 sway. Now I'm going to add rib cage circle. The other thing you can do is you can make a little bit of a figure eight in the rib cage. And I kind of go in and out of those two things. So I kind of go in and out of a circle and a figure eight. Let me show you this figure eight with the rib cage. I'm going to go side, lift, come down through the center almost in an undulation style, and then come back to the other side, lift, down through the center. Side lift, down through the center, side lift, down through the center, down through the center. Okay, so if that feels good to you, you can add that in with your figure eight. So for me, it feels difficult to keep that figure eight going on the rib cage, so that's why I kind of use both. I do the circle, and then when I feel that transition point where I can kind of drop through the center and then change the start beat of that figure eight to the other side. Okay, so you have to kind of be aware of where are those transition points. And that's what the slow flow class is all about. We're all about having you explore your own movement pathways. So often we take classes where the teacher is telling us how to do it and what to do, which we want that, we pay for that, but sometimes we have to follow our own intuitive, organic process of transitioning, of moving, right? So it's important that you incorporate improv or slow flow into your practice. So get that figure eight going again. Maybe you want to add some level changes in there. Maybe you want to lean. Maybe keep it up. Change some arms. So there's my rib cage circle. Adding arms. Go a little slower. Now I'm going to switch. I'm going to go into a Maya. Vertical figure eight on the down. Same thing. I'm going to add that nice big rib cage circle. Same thing, I can add my level change here. So there I changed it up. Instead of coming up on that figure eight, I came up with a little dip. Took myself down with the figure eight. Got to here, pushed the hips back, and then pushed into a figure eight on the down on the left. Try that a couple times. Figure 8 down. Sit all the way down. Now here's a maybe compromising position for your knees. You don't have to go this far if that doesn't feel good. Push the hips back, over to the other side. Push out of it with that Maya. Leaning again. I'm leaning my upper body away from my lower body. So there's a lot going on here. I'm moving in and out of so many different stylistic options here. I'm not just doing one thing. As we see, I went from a sway to a Maya. I'm continuing to use that level change. And then I'm using this lean where I'm getting that really elongated side. So I'm really contracted over here and lengthened over here on the right. Okay. Let's freestyle this for a few minutes, and I want you guys to play with the sway and the figure 8. As you can see, I'm using my whole body. I'm using my arms and my hair. I purposely let my hair down for this video so that I could really play around and feel inspired to move. So I feel like on this type of a move, I want everything free. So maybe, what if we start up here with just some really pretty hands. Nobody dances with hands anymore, right? Everybody's just so like into all the bells and whistles and the shimmies and the accents, and I love that too, but you know what really freaking gets me is when a dancer just slows down and can just do some pretty arms. Now take it into the rib cage. Rib cage. Maybe that rib cage figure 8. Rib cage figure 8. Rib cage, figure 8. Now into the hips. Big dips, halfway dips, into big. Now I've switched mine into my Maya. I didn't even really think about it. It just kind of happened. Keeping that Maya going, adding some layers of the rib cage, really slowing down to show that snaky side, full-bodied figure 8. Push, 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 push. Maybe come up with a sway from here. Come up with a Maya from here. Adding it into a hair figure 8. So that's kind of it, guys. There's not a whole lot more involved there other than your own creativity. One thing I wanted to share with you is, sorry, and I'm breathing. This one got me breathing even. I wanted to share with you some tips for modeling. If you're doing a belly dance photo shoot, we're all about shapes. What sets a belly dancer apart from all the other dance forms is the amazing shapes that we create with our body. So these round, beautiful shapes of figure 8s and circles. So I use what we just did there. I use that a lot when it comes to a photo shoot. Getting down into a little bit of a plie. So what does that already do? It widens the hip area. So you've already, by doing that, created illusion of a wider hip and a smaller waistline. And using that push, really dramatic, right? For something like a shadow dance or a silhouette dance or photo shoot. So if I just move really slowly through that, my photographer is going to be able to capture some really incredible shapes. This is what most photographers refer to as the S shape. They love when a person, a model, can really hit those S shapes of the body, which come from the side. And every person has it. It's just how you work it or not. So trust me, I have had very bad photos come back as well as stellar photos come back. And it all comes down to working your lines and your shape. So you can really get a nice accentuated shape and figure by working with this figure 8 movement. You can also do things where you're like dropping down into it, right? So there would be a really great moment for a photo. So you're kind of like dropping down into your figure eight and coming back up. And of course, this leaning movement where I'm pushing my hips one way and I'm falling off to the other. So keep that in mind next time you do your photo shoot, especially this kind of dip sitting into the hip area. Okay, you can already see the shape I created by doing that. That's not what my hips, I actually have quite narrow hips, but I'm lucky that I have a little bit of a waistline that my hips look bigger than they actually are, but I really have to use these poses and shapes quite often to give me that round figure that I want in a photo shoot. It doesn't come naturally for me at all. So no, I don't Photoshop my photos to get hips. I use belly dance moves to get my hips. And you can too. And boom. Look at how much rounder. Look, I just gave myself like 6 inches on my hip that I didn't have before. So you can see when I stand, I'm pretty narrow here. And then I go like this, and I just gave myself a whole hip. So the same thing applies when I'm doing those shapes in dance, right? What are we doing when we dance? We're moving photography, right? We're moving poetry. So don't forget that you want to maintain the shapes and lines as you're dancing. Wow, so that felt really good for me today to do this slow flow. I hope you guys enjoyed it also. So thank you for joining us again for this live test. We are testing for Rocks Online. Live classes coming soon. We are integrating right now the chat feature so that you guys will be able to chat with us while we're live, and we'll be able to take your questions, answer your questions. And down the road, we're also working on the feature of video so that you guys will be able to see you at the same time. Right now, it'll just be live class with a chat. And the reason for that is we wanted to bring a different level of quality. So I know that we have options with Zoom and different things, but we wanted to maintain the quality of the high definition cameras. And with that, we have to work through some other things that maybe we can't have, like the video feature, but we will have the chat feature. So also, guys, come and visit Rocks Online. We have almost 160 videos up now. We just filmed a new Latin dance series last night, so we have new Latin dance classes coming for you guys that are also for belly dancers. So just doing a lot of really cool hip work that you can incorporate into your Latin dance routine or your belly dance routine. Of course, we're always working on fitness. David just did a whole drum series, so we are catching up with uploading all of the videos that we already have backlogged, and today we were filming more new stuff. So we're doing about 8 classes a month, uploading new classes per month. So as always, lots of new things for you guys to come discover at Rocks Online. Please come check us out. You get a free week. And if you use code DANCE, D-A-N-C-E, all lowercase, you'll get 50% off your first month. And the yearly membership is actually the best option because you will get your monthly subscription for $19.99 a month rather than $24.99 a month. So if you see the value in having 160 classes plus live classes, when you are an annual subscriber, the live classes are actually included in your annual membership. They're not included in the monthly membership. You'll have to pay extra for those. So bumping up to a yearly membership, you get $5 off a month plus free online classes as well, the live classes. So it's a pretty amazing deal. We're doing our best over here to bring you guys as much as we can, working within our budget also to meet our expenses and bring you guys the best value. So we hope to hear from you. Let us know. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We would love to know what you guys want us to continue bringing to you in terms of content and topics. And say hello. Come join us at the Rocks Online Instagram page. We're always pretty active there. That's about the most activity that we share in our stories and stuff, what we're up to. So, all right, guys, it was great to see you today. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy, staying safe, staying sane in these really difficult times right now. Please let dance be an opportunity for you to connect and be kind to one another. There's just so much negativity going on in the world right now, and just hold on tight to anything you can that keeps you connected to others, maybe even others that you don't necessarily agree with or whatever. This is an opportunity for us to come together and celebrate and dance, not to separate ourselves and distance ourselves. So we're all about community. We're all about connections. So we love you guys, and we'll see you soon at Rocks Online.